وفاقی حکومت کی ہدایات کی روشنی میں پاکستانی سفارت خانہ واشنگٹن ڈی سی نے آج آر اسٹریٹ واشنگٹن ڈی سی پر واقع سفارت خانے کی پرانی عمارت کو فروخت کرنے کا عمل مکمل کر لیا ہے۔ اس حوالے سے لنکن لائبریری والڈروف آسٹریلیا ہوٹل واشنگٹن میں ایک تقریب منعقد ہوئی۔ تقریب میں کانگریس کی خاتون رکن جیسمین کروکٹ، کانگریس کی رکن گریگوری میکس اور سابق رکن ایڈی برنیس جانسن نے شرکت کی۔ یہ پراپرٹی ایک پاکستانی نژاد امریکن عبد الحفیظ خان نے خریدی ہے، جس نے $7.1 ملین کی سب سے زیادہ بولی کی پیشکش کی تھی اور اسے وفاقی کابینہ کی جانب سے منظور کر لیا گیا تھا۔ کانگریس کی سابق خاتون رکن ایڈی برنیس نے اس موقع پر اظہار خیال کرتے ہوئے عبد الحفیظ خان کو تاریخی عمارت خریدنے پر مبارکباد دی۔ انہوں نے حفیظ خان کی کامیابیوں پر روشنی ڈالی اور ان کے مستقبل کی کامیابیوں کے حوالے سے نیک خواہشات کا اظہار کیا۔ آئیے پروگرام کی کچھ جھلکیاں دیکھتے ہیں عاصم صدیقی کے ساتھ۔
السلام علیکم ناظرین، کیپٹل ٹی وی واشنگٹن اس وقت جو ہے واشنگٹن میں موجود ہیں اور ایک 5 اسٹار ہوٹل میں جو ہے ایک تقریب کا انعقاد ہوا، جہاں پر حفیظ صاحب جنہوں نے پاکستان کی پرانی ایمبیسی خریدی ہے وہ یہاں پر موجود تھے۔ ایمبیسڈر آف پاکستان یہاں پر موجود تھے، ایمبیسی کے جو آفیسرز ہیں وہ یہاں پر موجود تھے اور کانگریس وومن موجود تھیں۔ اس کے علاوہ اور بہت سارے آفیشلز یہاں پر موجود تھے اور ان سب کے سامنے جو ہے اس پراپرٹی کو جو ہے وہ ایمبیسڈر صاحب نے جو ہے حفیظ صاحب کا اعلان کیا کہ انہوں نے خرید لیے اور فائنلی جو ہے بہت شور سن رہے تھے ہم کہ کون خریدے گا، تو ایک پازیٹیو پاکستانی جو ہیں انہوں نے ایک قدم آگے بڑھایا اور ان کو خرید لیا۔ آئیے ہم ان سے پوچھتے ہیں اور کچھ اور انٹرویوز لیتے ہیں اور تقریب کی جھلکیاں دیکھتے ہیں اس پروگرام کی۔ تھینک یو سو مچ آپ کا، اینڈ کچھ بتائیں گے کہ یہ جو آپ نے اقدام لیا یہ کس جذبے کے تحت لیا؟
اور تھینک یو کیپٹل ٹی وی۔ جہاں تک جذبہ کا تعلق ہے وہ تو سمپل ہے کہ وی آر ایز اے امریکن پاکستانی، جتنا ہمارا دل یہاں پہ امریکہ کے لیے دھڑکتا ہے اتنا پاکستان کے لیے بھی دھڑکتا ہے۔ تو ہم کوشش یہ تھی میری کہ جب میں نے یہی نیوز سنی کہ پاکستان از سیلنگ دس ایسٹ، تو میرے ذہن میں سب سے پہلا یہی تھا کہ آئی وانٹڈ ٹو ہیو سم امریکن پاکستانی کو یہ پراپرٹی خریدنی چاہیے، کیونکہ اس کے ساتھ پاکستان کے ہمارے بہت زیادہ سینٹیمنٹل ویلیوز جو ہیں وہ ہیں بندھے ہوئے۔ تو الحمدللہ
آخری ایک کچھ سوچا ہے یا ابھی سیکرٹ ہے کہ اس کو کریں گے کیا آپ؟
نہیں بھائی، ابھی کچھ نہیں سوچا۔ ابھی دا فرسٹ تھنگ از ٹو گیٹ بیک ٹو اٹس، جو اس کی زوننگ ہے، زوننگ کے مطابق اس کو واپس اس کی پوزیشن میں لانا ہے۔ ونس دیٹ وی کین برنگ بیک ٹو اٹس پراپر زوننگ، تو انشاءاللہ پھر دیکھیں گے اس کو کیا۔
ناظرین، یہ ہے ہمارا پازیٹیو امیج جو کہ پاکستان سے باہر رہ کر پاکستان کی خدمت کرنے کو ہر وقت تیار رہتا ہے۔ تھینک یو سو مچ۔
تھینک یو، بہت شکریہ۔
Today's event is to commemorate the very generous purchase of the former Pakistani embassy for this nation. They have now built a new one, and that property was waiting for someone to claim it and do something with it. And lo and behold, a native Pakistani has made that purchase with cash money in order to improve it to be a piece of property not only for Pakistan to be proud of, but for the United States as well.
یہ بتائیے کہ آج آپ کو کیسا لگ رہا ہے؟ آپ جتنی زبردست تقریب ہے اور ایک پاکستانی نے یہ خریدی ہے، اور میرا خیال ہے کہ یہ بڑا اچھا ایک جذبہ ہے اور آنے والے جو اوورسیز پاکستانیوں کے اندر ایک بہت زبردست ایک وہ ہے کہ وہ پاکستان سے بہت محبت کرتے ہیں اور پاکستان کی چیزوں سے بہت محبت کرتے ہیں۔ کیا کہیں گے؟
جی بالکل، آپ نے بجا فرمایا۔ میں جیسے اردو میں کہتے ہیں رونگٹے کھڑے ہونا یا گوز بمپس ہونا، ایون آپ کا سوال کرنے سے میرے گوز بمپس جو ہیں وہ کھڑے ہیں، وہ اس کے لیے کہ ہم بہت خوش ہیں، میں بہت خوش ہوں اور میں مبارکباد پیش کرتا ہوں حفیظ خان صاحب کو، جنہوں نے میرے ارج کرنے پہ، کمپیل کرنے پہ انہوں نے یہ اسٹرائڈ لیا، یہ اسٹیپ لیا۔ دیکھیں بات یہ ہے کہ پاکستانی ایمبیسی خالی پاکستانی ایمبیسی نہیں ہے، یہ پوری ڈپلومیٹک ہیریٹیج ہے، ایک ڈپلومیٹک کلچر ہے اور اس کے علاوہ ان کا ہیریٹیج موجود ہے۔ ہم یہ چاہتے تھے کہ یہ صرف اور صرف پاکستانی کے ہی پاس جائے۔
Thank you all for being here this morning, joining the Honorable Eddie Bernice Johnson in celebration of Mr. Hafeez Khan as we salute him for the historical purchase of the Pakistani Embassy. While it is widely recognized that Mr. Khan will have a tremendous hand in the revitalization of one of Washington, D.C.'s prominent historic areas, it is also not lost upon us that Mr. Khan has taken on a great responsibility that only someone of his character and integrity would have the fortitude and the foresight to do. And that is to continue to preserve and honor the rich culture of the Pakistani people right here on American soil. Friends, that is not only the history of Pakistan, but also history right here in America. And for that, Mr. Khan, we thank you. Will you all please help me welcome here with us the Pakistan Ambassador to the United States, Masad. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Well, thank you so much. It's early in the morning, and I am grateful to all of you for being here. It's a good morning, and it's an important day for Pakistan and for the United States. We are honored with the presence of 3 distinguished congressmen or congresspersons, or 2 congresswomen, or 1 congressman. Eddie Bernice, Greg Meeks, and the friend I met just now, Jasmine Crockett. All of you, I welcome you. In particular, I welcome Mr. Hafeez Khan, Abdul Hafeez Khan. And today we will hand over this property to Mr. Hafeez Khan. And I just want to walk you through this journey very briefly. This property has been with Pakistan for decades, but it's not the only property that we have in Washington, D.C. We have about 5 properties, or 5 or 4 properties, but this is one of the most important properties because it used to house, until early 2000s, our defense wing, our trade wing, our education wing. And this is located near our next property, which used to be our chancery at Massachusetts Avenue. So we have lots of memories associated with this building. So we are slightly sentimental when we hand it over to the new owner, but we feel pleasure in transferring this property to Mr. Hafeez Khan. We're also really pleased that this property has been bought by a Pakistani-American. We are proud of the progress and achievements of Pakistani-Americans here in the United States of America. They've done well. Over the years, and I was having a conversation before coming to the podium with him, and I said, "What's your business?" And he said, "It's manufacturing." And I said, "Manufacturing what?" And he says that they manufacture energy shocks. So he literally gives energy to everything that he does. So in that context, I think that we hope that this building would also add to his energy shocks here in Washington, D.C. I think he's based in Texas, but he's come all the way to invest in Washington, D.C. We are really touched by the presence of 3 congresspersons because you kind of baptizing and giving your blessings to this building and to this transaction. But I am also grateful to Long and Foster. Is there a representative sitting here? Long and Foster and KVS. But in addition to that, I think that it was the Office of Foreign Missions at the State Department, the DC government, who've all been very, very helpful. This transaction was undertaken in pursuance of the direction that had been given by Pakistan cabinet. They took the decision at the highest level and that this property must be sold off. And under the direction of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we've been completing all different stages of this transaction. And thank God this has been consummated and it has been completed today. One thing that I want to point out here is that this was not an easy journey because there were lots of speculation in the media about it, and I just want to clarify that this is one of the properties, and all other properties of the government of Pakistan stay with us, whether it is the property of the Massachusetts Avenue, or whether it's the Pakistan House, or whether it is the present Chancery in the International Court. So there should be absolutely no confusion, no misunderstanding about this aspect. Mr. Hafeez Khan, congratulations. And I want to recognize two officers who have worked very diligently to make this transaction happen and make it successful. One is Adil Parvez, who is current head of Chancery. Would you stand up? And the other is Hassan Rabbani, who did the spade work. And his predecessors remain unnamed, who worked for years. But congratulations, it's a good day, as I said, and congratulations to everybody. My thanks to congresspersons. I want to extend an invitation to all of you. I extended it to Honorable Gregory Meeks and others, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice, that we will have Mango Festival on the 20th of July. And you too, Honorable Congressperson, on the 20th of July, you invited to the Chancery of Pakistan for joining us in Mango festivities. So you're most welcome if your calendar allows. If your calendar doesn't allow, particularly for congresspersons or representatives in the House of Representatives, we'll send them boxes of mangoes. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Ambassador Khan, and please help me welcome the Honorable Eddie Bernice Johnson.
Good morning. I'm delighted to see all of you this morning and recognizing that this is really a very challenging time for the legislative schedule, therefore for the city. As the Congress dominates the interest of the city. And as I've said many times, I can get this entire area in the District 30 at home. But it's a very different area. This, of course, is our most important municipality in this nation. And I'm delighted that all of you have come this morning. I want to point out a few people that I involved in the leadership of this. Number one, I want to thank Jane Hamilton, who has been my guiding light, helping us pull this together. And Greg Meeks, who is the immediate past chair and will soon be chair again of the Foreign Affairs Committee. We have been friends since he came to Congress. And Mr. Butterfield, who a former chief Supreme Court Justice of the state of North Carolina, that I had the pleasure also not only to campaign for, but to serve with him in the Congress. Thank you very much for coming this morning. I want you to get to know, those of you that don't know him, one of my dearest friends, and the reason I'm standing here this morning. Mr. Khan and I met a number of years ago. As a matter of fact, his family was a young family then. But he's accompanied today by his daughter, who is a physician, who is married to a physician. I had the pleasure of attending their wedding, which was something I'd never seen before. He also has a daughter who is a dentist and a son who is an engineer. And that's the only one that's joining him in business. And so when you see him, you're going to see his son. But the most important of all of that, who pulls them all together, is Mrs. Khan. Mrs. Khan is a superb hostess. I have met so many Pakistani elected officials from Pakistan at their home over the years. And I have the magnificent pleasure of going to what I call that Dubai mansion in Dallas. And so they are dear friends of mine, and I'm just so delighted to be able to join them here this morning and to see how this wonderful family has come along from young people to the successes of which they are today. The youngest one is still in college at Southern Methodist University. I don't know what she's going to choose, but the son, who is an engineer, has chosen to be a businessman. He has a superb example to follow. Mr. Khan has such respect and devotion to Pakistan as well as to the United States. He's been here over 20 years, probably around 30, because I've known him close to that time. But him to step up and buy a piece of property that he had never seen before. And if you ask him right now what he's going to do with it, he can't give you a straight answer. But that tells me one thing. His devotion for giving that piece of property the respect it deserves, and the role that that piece of property has served in this country for the country of Pakistan. So I stand here with pride to introduce to you an American citizen who has really offered so much to this country in his business leadership and his investment in his family to make sure that they are going to be people who will add to the culture and to the talent of this nation. He was joined this morning by his physician daughter and her physician husband. Seems like just 2 or 3 years ago I saw them get married, but they're living in San Francisco now, is that right? Left Texas. Now who leaves Texas? But they're right here to support their father this morning, and I'm delighted that they're here. So first I want to give a hand to Mrs. Khan for being the leader of the household that she is, the support for her husband and for her family. Always quiet, always proper, always very American Pakistani. Thank you for joining your husband this morning and watching him spend all his money. Keep a handle. But I want you to meet the man who was willing and able and proud to stand with his native land as partnership with his new land. When I say new, he's been here a long time, and he has no hesitancy in being a very good American citizen. I'm going to present to you now Mr. Khan, who has made the purchase of embassy of the country of Pakistan. And he's going to tell you all about what he's going to do with that property. And the reason I say he's going to tell you because he hadn't been able to tell me. But thank you for coming. I also want to acknowledge that the Chief of Staff of the Science Committee, which is a big deal on the Hill, joined us this morning. Dr. Oldman, thank you very much for coming in. He's retired from the Hill now. He didn't want to work with any other boss. I said that because he decided not to. He decided to retire from the Hill at the time for which I did. But thanks also to other members of that committee, the committee that produced that bill that is now called the CHIPS bill, which will guide our future, not only in defense, but artificial intelligence, space exploration, and whatever you can think of that chip has come to be. I'm proud to be from the city where the chip was developed with Texas Instruments. And I'm proud to be from the state where the Johnson Space Center is located. And I won't get on that because I'll be up here all day talking. But thanks to all of you who have had a little bit to work with me in that area for being here, which is the guiding committee for the future, not only of this nation, but the world. And I want to present to you a world leader who now can claim both Pakistan and the United States as his home, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, Honorable Congresswoman, for inviting me. Greetings and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shahbaz Sharif, and his cabinet for approving the sale of a former Pakistani embassy here in Washington D.C. As you all know, that this is a historical building and also is located in a very posh area of the capital. This building was built in 1907. Actually, it's not only historical, but also it has some significant values to it. This building was the primary residence of the two great Americans who had lived here before the Pakistan government purchased this asset. The first was Mr. Gardner William, who was the first appointed mining engineer to South Africa. And later on, he wrote a very famous book called Diamond Mines of South Africa. And the second person was the Secretary of Treasury of the United States, Mr. Henry Morgenthau, also had lived in this house. So 1947, when Pakistan came into existence, I believe that's the first property purchased by the government, and they used this building as an embassy here. So this building as an embassy, I think worked more than 50 years and served the Pakistani community. So working for a long span of time with the Pakistani community and for the Pakistani community, it got a lot of Pakistani sentimental values attached to this building. So when I heard that the government has decided to dispose that asset, and also I heard some other nationals from other countries were also interested in purchasing it. So the first thing came to my mind that I wanted to have some American Pakistani from this country should move forward and purchase this asset. So I went ahead, I made the highest offer at that time, and I'm thankful to the government of Pakistan that they had accepted my offer. And I want to congratulate each and every Pakistani across the world, especially in Pakistan, that now this property belongs to American Pakistani from this country, not to any other nation. So there is a list of the people I would like to thank. First of all, I would like to thank the Ambassador of Pakistan, Mr. Sardar for making this transaction very smooth, transparent, and timely. And also, I would like to thank my family, who has been very supportive to me towards purchasing this asset here in Washington D.C. And also, I would like to thank the Honorable Congresswoman Eddie Bernice, who has been a long-time friend, and she came all the way from Dallas to celebrate this event with us. She's such a great person, very humble, and hardworking politician. She worked in the Congress for more than 30 years. Her contribution towards making this country great will always be remembered. Thank you so very much for coming. And also, I would like to thank all the members of the Congress who are here, and the representative from the local government, and all the dignitaries for taking your time out today and giving us the honor to celebrate this event together. Also, I would like to thanks to the media. I know without media, I would not able to know if this property was for sale or not. So, especially I would like to thanks to the Pakistani network. And also, again, at the end, I would like to thanks again everyone for coming, for joining us on this event and making it a part of the history. God bless America. God bless Pakistan.
You are watching Capital TV Washington.